Hello YouTube, I'm David with the David West channel. Let's head back out in the woods. We'll use that trail that we cleared and go back over that magnolia tree and try to find some good stock. Hopefully we could find something dry with the bark off of it that is nicely degraded that we can use for a bow drill friction fire. Stop and look at all these pine knots for a second. That's the way it looks throughout the woods. All the way down to the creek. Probably about 8 or 10 terraces down to the creek. There is no shortage of pine knots in these woods. All right, here is the magnolia. Let me look around and see. Out of all of these live branches that I cut off, I found this one dead branch. You don't want the bark on it. The diameter's not really big enough, but I'm gonna try to use it. Let's use this 7 inches right here for a spindle and this end right here for the fireboard. All right, I got about a 15-foot branch here. 6, 12, about 15 feet. Yeah, it's pretty dry. I'm glad about that. Let's go ahead and use this piece for a bow. And we'll make use of this little branch for the top of the bow to help hold the string on. Rather than cut a piece of cordage, we'll just use this. I have 2 through holes on this bow, one here and one here. So we'll be showing you a different style this morning. Let's just go ahead and make a loop on this end. Stick it over here. Come down here. Now we have to leave a little bit of slack to accommodate the thickness of the spindle, which I pull out about 1 inch right there. And that can be adjusted if we need to. And we're just gonna wrap it back over on top of itself. That will be plenty of friction for this not to pull out. Bows are very, very simple. Now on the fireboard, I want to see where it sits the flattest. And that's where I'll start putting my flats on there. Looks like this is going to be it right here. One complete flat all the way across the bottom, and then I only flatten off a little bit on top. Now the rule of thumb is to have the thickness of your fireboard the same thickness as your spindle. I like a 3/4 inch spindle, 5/8. I never have a fireboard that thick. This is about 3/8, probably thicker than that, maybe about 7/16. That's all you need. You could probably get by with a 5/16 thickness on your fireboard. All right, Fireboard is very easy to make. We'll work on the spindle now, and I like to make it into a true square, rectangular box if you will, which helps me to get all the highs and the lows out. And here's the kind of square I was talking about. I have just enough material to work with. Let's make it round now. That is symmetrical enough. This end will be the pointy bearing block end. I'll come down about 1 inch, bring it to a point. That point should be on center line. Turn it 90 degrees, and the point should still be on center line. This hot end, come down 1/4 inch, do facets all the way around. Come up 1/8, facets all the way around. Come up 1/16, facets all the way around. Turned out pretty good. Look at that spindle. I needed a small diameter spindle because I have a very narrow fireboard, but it looks like it's just wide enough, doesn't it? Let's go ahead and see if we can get most of our fire lay made. Let's see how our bow is going to work. Oh, act like you didn't see that. Gonna work just fine, isn't it? Well, I don't like it. I'm going to use leaves for a tinder bundle, so when we get in the front yard and lay down the wool blanket, I'm going to dump it all out and we'll do it over. Let's head that way. Here's the leaves from my tinder bundle. I don't like that. Let's take that out. I think that's enough. And I don't like that that keeps coming off, so we'll just tie it on the end. No big deal. Give it a double wrap and then just tie a square knot in it. Won't come off of there now. And we'll tighten up on that. Once again, we'll allow about 1 inch. Wrap it over on itself. Believe it or not, that's enough friction to make that line stay in there. Let's see how that is. It's a little bit tight, but it's going to loosen up through here and through tightening that knot. So let's go ahead and do a burn-in. Magnolia fireboard, Magnolia spindle, fatwood bearing block, leaves for a tinder bundle, and then Magnolia kindling and shavings and fuel wood. Going for the burn-in. Okay, I've got this rubbing my shoe, so I'm going to smooth that up. And go ahead and cut our notch. I usually like to burn in my spindle and divot more than that, but the spindle is drifting to the back. In order to stop that, I'll go ahead and cut my notch, which tends to make a spindle wear more towards the front. All right, a bit of a ragged square point notch, but I think it's going to do well. This is that window that I'm always talking about. From this point on, if you ever see me make an edit from the time that I'm going for the ember until I actually get flames in the stove, you know that I flubbed something up so badly, not the technique, but I misspoke, said something wrong, or something happened, because I don't ever want to edit out within this window. The closest thing to an edit that I will do is to speed it up, to go to double speed. All right, this is the start of that window I was talking about. Give it a chance to coalesce.
Mullen did a great job of being straight off the landscape.
Everything looks good. We'll use a 2-piece tinder bundle. turning it towards the wind. Damp leaves straight off the ground are always going to be a challenge. All right, y'all, do me a favor. Before you leave my channel, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell. And in that drop-down list, select all. And do give the video a like. I appreciate you joining me on this one. We'll catch you on the next one. And just like the pine needles, the coals from those leaves are burning very, very hot and will last an extremely long period of time. Let me prove that to you. I'll put you on time lapse. And when the flames pick up and the stove starts burning really well, I'll put it back on regular speed.